Hello and welcome. I'm TJ Walker. Thanks for joining us today. This is an hour for you can ask me anything about communications, public speaking, personal development. We're going to start right out of the gate with a conversation, an in-depth conversation about the Amazon Influencer Program. We're not trying to sell anyone on that, but looking at it through the lens of how people who want to improve their communication skills, monetize their communication skills, build their communication skills, reach an audience, perhaps promote their own products, other people's products, how they can do it, and what they really need to know about the Amazon Influencer Program. I'm joined, as always, by our fantastic community manager and my partner, Barb Tomlin. Barb, how are you today?
I'm doing great, TJ. I just checked in one of our destinations. We are also streaming this live to Facebook, and I will also go over to LinkedIn and check that because we had um, as far as the way that it came in was a little bit odd, and it's showing something else. But we are live now, and it's working. So I think we're
Great.
we're good to go.
And I want to say a special hello to Karima and to Janice and to Moss. We'll be checking with all of you. Appreciate it. And Janice is one of our fantastic ambassadors for this channel as well. She's doing a great job of stimulating interesting conversation in all the comments. So, Janice, thank you so much for doing that. Very much appreciate it. And you're one of the reasons why the channel growth has skyrocketed. If we have time, I'll talk about some of those details a little bit later. But I did have the most popular video. Oh, here's what I wanted to share, and I meant to share it with everyone during our Facebook hour. But Barb, I think you'll appreciate this, and a lot of our students will. For years, I've had so many students say, TJ, I'm afraid to speak. My grammar isn't great. I am going to make a grammar mistake and feel like a fool. And to be honest with you, I've been a little cavalier, perhaps. Maybe I just couldn't relate to it because I did get lucky in that I happen to be born in the country where it's a very helpful language to know, and I had good grammar instruction at the beginning. So that I'm going to hit a few mutes. We're getting a little bit of feedback here. So I never remember anyone pointing out any grammar mistake I'd made ever. Well, a couple of days ago, I went to my YouTube channel, and sure enough, someone made a comment pointing out a grammar mistake I'd made on a video that had just gone live within 24 hours. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. I'm supposed to be a big communications expert. English is my first language. How awful that I'm making grammar mistakes. But then I thought, well, maybe this person doesn't know what they're talking about. I couldn't possibly have made a grammar mistake. So I went to the video, I watched it, and sure enough, I had a grammar mistake. And I thought, oh, wow, this is awful. This is embarrassing. Plus, the video is going to be destroyed. No one's going to watch it. Maybe I should just delete it. So I thought about deleting it. But before I did, I looked at the video, and it was the single most viewed, most popular video I had, not of the day, not of the week, not of the month, but of the entire year. It had 11,000 views. And you know
Wow.
what? No one else noticed the mistake or they didn't comment on it. So the real lesson there is, yes, you want to do as well as you can. But if you obsess over every little detail, you'll hold yourself back. If I had even seen that video in advance, I probably would have deleted it. Would have been a lost opportunity. I got a lot of subscribers from that one video. So you don't have to be perfect. The biggest mistake of all is not a grammar mistake. It's not an verbal tick mistake. It's not a vocabulary mistake. The biggest mistake most people make is never pushing publish, never pushing record. That is far and away the single biggest mistake. So I just thought I would share that because I can make grammar mistakes too. If we have time, I'll show that video, but I don't want to obsess with it. We're gonna come to Janice as quickly as possible, and to everyone else. Appreciate those of you joining us. But I wanted to go a little more in depth in this Amazon influencer program. We've been talking about it for just a couple of weeks. It didn't really show up on my radar till a couple of weeks ago. And Barb, who is always on the cutting edge of all of these issues and has known a lot about Amazon for 30 years, brought it to my attention. Barb, can you give our community here, for those just joining us the first time, just give them a 60-second summary in your view of what the Amazon Influencer Program is, and then I'll provide a little context of why I think anyone should care about it, even if normally you would never care about selling a product or getting affiliate money or any of that stuff.
When the Amazon Influencer Program was introduced, Amazon was testing live video presentation of products, very similar to QVC channel on television. And so if you had been a long time affiliate of Amazon's, you were typically targeted for invitation to their influencer program. But to be an influencer, you also have to have somewhat of a social following. That's this whole thing about, oh, she's an influencer on Facebook, or she's an influencer on YouTube, or whatever. And at that time, I think it was like 2,000 Twitter followers, and I think it was the same for Facebook. But if you just Google Amazon influencer, you'll be able to come up with what the qualifications are for the program these days. You have to be in good standing to participate in the program, but why would you want to participate? Amazon has the customers there for you to address. If you're a shy person, per se, an introvert, this is especially helpful, but people are coming there with one mission. That is to find and buy whatever the product is that's out there. For me, I've been in it since 2019, and I have not even, I've been doing the beta stuff behind the scenes and not really activating. I have a shop. I've had a shop there a long time, but not going to the next level, which I invited TJ to come in. I said, hey, because of where we are now, I think the timing is right to do this. And I sent him a video of a training program, and I will look for our students in our Facebook group. I can't put this on YouTube, but if you are a member of our Facebook group, I will look for that, see if it's available. But one of the very top influencers in the program is a Udemy student of TJ's and a member of our group there. His name is David Utepia. You can find his videos on YouTube at any time. And I think because I could just go on and on, because it's absolutely, in my opinion, it is the number one thing to help you start from nowhere. You do need to have and make money right away. It is 60 days before, once you sell that first product, it's going to be 60 days before you see any money. But I'll just quickly tell you what happened to my friends. As I was testing this and others like David went live, they catapulted to six-figure incomes because they discovered, just like I did. I want you all to just take a look around you right now where you are and say, did I get that on Amazon? Is it available on Amazon? And you will find, just from personal hygiene stuff, I was telling TJ about some things that my husband and I were working on. And you can look at the sales of these items, how many people are buying them. And it's like, wow, they're getting views, they're getting sales. So it's like, almost like if in the old days, in the real world, we say, of being in a store, being a clerk in a store. You're not necessarily, you're there to help people find the product. And as you progress, the ones who are the top producers in the stores, you would get a commission on the sales. And then you would learn to become a professional salesperson. Well, YouTube has taken that to heart. And they said, we have the audience. We can bring them out with your help. If you will create the conversation, we will bring them to you. So it's set, and because we all talk about computer algorithms, and Amazon is totally automated, and so it is determining if people are coming to you, coming to those products. And they're adding, they're adding that all up. They're massaging those numbers and seeing what's the most visible. So it's really important that you be connected to other influencers as well. And there are special groups that you need to belong to. And I don't release those on Facebook, and I don't release them anywhere but in private groups that will really help you connect with other influencers. That's really important to do. But it is available to anyone. My husband is going to be celebrating his 80th birthday this year, and we are going to be working together in my shop on Amazon for 2024. So it's a very exciting time. That shop does tie into YouTube, so you should have a YouTube channel. By all means, you need a YouTube channel, but you need to learn how to use it properly with Amazon so you don't run into trouble with YouTube or Amazon. So it is an educational process that you can complete this first quarter in 2024, and you can be setting up and selling too. And that's what I advised TJ to do. So we're off on an adventure.
And as I often do, I listen to Barb and I just hopped right in. So here is my my store on Amazon. So I just signed up last week. It took a few minutes. And then I made 3 videos. That's how you start. And then they have to approve them. They've just been approved. So that's the starting point. Now, a little more context, if I could. And the reason I'm excited about this is not because I had lifelong dreams of being the next Ron Popeil, the infomercial guru. In fact, I used to live just really right around the corner from the Home Shopping Network when I lived in the Clearwater, St. Pete area. I never really aspired to be one of those guys saying, no, look at this beautiful mink stole or that. What excites me about this is you only have to talk about things that you like, that you own, that you've used, that you like, because unless you are in extreme circumstances, we all have thousands of products that we bought in our house. And the ones you buy regularly, you could talk about why you like. I mean, right here, I have next to me, I have an 85-inch Samsung TV. I've got 2 of them. I should do a video where I talk about why it is, in fact, a great TV and why it was so great. I bought 2 of them. So I can do that sincerely and I can share personal experience. So that's what fascinates me is for so many people trying to get into the speaking world, they're trying to use other people's contents, their boss's PowerPoint, something Amway, something they might not believe in. With the Amazon Influencer Program, you can talk about stuff that you're really excited about that have changed your life in a positive way and make money on it. So that gets you in the world of being a professional speaker. And again, I'm not guaranteeing any riches. It gets you into the world of speaking regularly. It gets you into the world of figuring out a context for speaking without being invited. And I just look across the way. I mean, everyone we have here, everyone I see has, frankly, a great reason for doing this. Karima, you could talk about your areas of expertise as it relates to a product. Barb, you certainly could be, as you've already talked about, doing products that just you and your husband use and getting you in the game and working together with your husband, selling household products. Moss, I know that you are a technology expert and you help people solve problems. I guarantee you, if you just go through your house, look at every computer you have, every keyboard, every mouse, every printer you have, they're selling that on Amazon. So Moss, you could actually do a little tutorial about how the particular product you have is useful, what you like about it. And now you're creating intellectual property that demonstrates your ability to solve problems, because that's the sort of job you're looking for. And if you get a great full-time job, you don't have any time to do more. Okay, you don't ever have to do any more. There's no commitment. But it may be that you do so many videos and you start to get sales that it actually creates a higher income for you than what a full-time job might. Again, I'm not making any promises or even talking about exact numbers of what people make, but it's something to think about. Janice, you are already a public speaking expert, and you have a certain amount of time in your day when you're not dealing directly with a client, but you've got a camera there, you've got good lighting, you got a mic. You could be doing essentially your own mini professional speeches, promoting products, creating a whole additional source of revenue, plus having content where you can demonstrate to your clients, customers, prospects what you do. So let me just show briefly, because this is all a bit abstract what I'm talking about. Let me talk about how simple this is. And again, why I like it. You don't have to do any editing on these videos if you don't want to. Now, I did 3 videos just a couple of days ago. I have not even seen these yet. I hope they're not going to embarrass me, but I have not even seen these yet. I know there was just a little bit of editing put in. My wife was nice enough to do that. But I didn't pick these products because I thought they were going to make me a lot of money or anything else. I really just wanted to test speaking in a different format. So let's just take a look. Again, all of this is public on Amazon right now, so I'm not showing anything inappropriate. Let's take a look. My new Crocs just came in the mail today. I can't wait to put them on. This is about my 20th pair of Crocs over the decades. What I love about it is you stick your foot in and you walk. I don't have to tie my shoelaces. I don't have to worry about socks. I can just go. I live in South Florida where it's hot. I don't like having to put on socks, bend down and tie shoes. It is time consuming and it doesn't really help. Crocs are always comfortable. I wear them constantly everywhere. Now, something you might not have thought of that I didn't realize when I bought my first pair of Crocs is it is so incredibly easy to just put them on a couple of fingers and go for a walk. This is what I do on the beach every day. I like to walk on the beach. Sure, I could take regular tennis shoes and socks, get down, untie it, take the socks off, finish up, put the socks on, get on the ground, tie my shoes. I'm too lazy to do that. The beauty of it is when I'm done, I finish my walk on the beach, I just throw the Crocs down and I step in after a quick rinse. I'm not bending down, I'm not putting on socks, I'm not tying shoes, and off I go. It's convenient, it's simple, it's lightweight, and it's so comfortable. I think you're going to enjoy your Crocs. Okay. So is that some sort of great world-class infomercial? No. I did it in one take, and I just shared how I felt about it. And the only thing that was a little bit different is I had thought about doing this a week earlier. So when I was on the beach going for a walk with my wife, I said, hey, why don't you just shoot some video of me in case I do an ad for Crocs? So that's why I'm doing it. And again, if I spent a whole day on that, I would say, well, that would be foolish. There's no way I could recoup the investment of time for that. But that was what, an 87-second video. I did it in one take. My wife did the editing, I believe, in about 5 minutes, and it gets me in the game. So that's what I want to focus on, is just getting you in the game, because I do think there's something different about posting a video, knowing you're sharing it to the world in some professional capacity. Now, Elena writes in with a question, do you need to be a monetized YouTube channel to create an Amazon store? My understanding is no, Barb.
No.
Yeah.
She does not.
Yeah.
So, do you want any critiquing on that video?
Sure. I mean, that's literally, yeah, sure. But that was literally the first time I saw it, and I noticed things like, oh gosh, I got a piece of paper on the floor. I've got a light overhead. It's not exactly ideal.
No.
I really wanted to. My main goal was, can I actually do this quickly enough? Get in. So if some reason I don't, I can report back to all of you and say, hey, if you don't make it, you've only lost half an hour of your time. If I start doing more, I'm going to try to improve it. But yes, Barb.
But that's okay. That's excellent, and from a sales standpoint, and that's why I said, I know TJ is going to be really great at this. But the other side of this is you've got to show the product, and so you should have held up the product so it could be seen. That's why I say you can mix If your wife is helping you on that, you can mix some still images with it. But people are going to ask now about, the sole. What? You don't wear any socks with it? Was there something on Amazon you got, to keep it dry inside? How is it dry inside?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to look at the products, see what comments are there before you ever create your video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you researched the product, you knew it was very popular. And it doesn't mean like it has sales and other live videos attached to it from other influencers. It doesn't mean you won't be successful, but use those as your example in going through and creating your product. But what you did, and what I envision myself doing, because we both have that sales background, is you also sold a product. And you're a natural salesperson, if you really believe something.
Only for products I like. I
Right.
was the worst kid in school selling magazine subscriptions and peanut brittle for my Boy Scout. I was horrible.
Right.
I don't really love stuff, but I genuinely believe in it. I mean, I did tell one lie in that video. I think I said I had 20 different pairs of Crocs over the years. I've probably had 40, but I didn't want to say that because it would sound like they were wearing out too quickly. But at one point I bought a dozen because it's almost too long a story to go into, but I wanted one for the inside of my house for every door and the outside. Because my wife and my mother-in-law did not want me walking in the house with something that touched the outside. So I had, I think, 14 pairs to try to solve that problem. But anyway, we'll save that for another time.
That's
but Barb's absolutely you're absolutely right that a good video will answer questions posted. And so I need to do a better job of that. But that's one of the things I like about it is it doesn't require editing and text and graphics and music and special effects. So you can do a few, get going, get better at it. The people I've seen who seem to be making the most money, they stress two things. They stress, do videos of higher priced, higher value products, because getting a percentage on a $1,500 Samsung TV is going to be a lot better than getting the same percentage of a $2 toothbrush. But then they say, once you screen for quality and high-end stuff, then you want to do quantity. And the people who are really doing well in this are doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos of these over a 6-month period. We have got to get to others who've been patiently waiting. I wanted to show one other, and again, get your feedback. This one is just 68 seconds. I love my Mission baseball caps. I always wear them. I just got 2 new ones in the mail, and I'm excited about that. I have them in different colors, and I wear them every single day. Why? They're so cool. Now, I live in South Florida. We have a lot of sun here, and it's beating down on you all the time. I don't want that on the top of my head, and I want a little protection. The beauty of these hats, though, is it doesn't make you sweat. It actually cools you down. The fabric is so light, and when it's exposed to moisture, to water, to sweat, it actually kills you. So I wear these certainly if I'm playing sports like pickleball, as I try to every day in South Florida, but just walking around so I don't get all the extra sun exposure. These hats are different from any other baseball hats I've worn because they're so much cooler and lighter. I love the fact that it gets really smelly and stinky from the sweat. You just toss it in the washing machine and it comes out. It still looks great.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a million things that one could say about that, of how it could be improved, of how it could be better. An advertising agency might look at that and say, oh, you missed this opportunity, this opportunity. What I was trying to do, and I do think I succeeded, is just share positive feelings about it and to do it in one take. Because the model I did there, I could literally do 100 ads a day. It would be very easy for me to do 100 of those a day. I could conceivably, in a 2-week period, do 1,000 ads. Now, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to, but that's a structure. And, not all of them have to make a lot of money. If just a tiny percentage of them did well, it could be quite lucrative. Barb, I'm going to let you have the final word on this whole Amazon influencer thing. But this is something I think we're going to be talking about a fair amount in the new year. And then we're going to switch to Janice and Karima and Moss. But Barb, first you.
Well, I would like to address, Elena has actually from YouTube she picked up that she should lie a little bit too. And I just want to give you a caution real quickly that if Amazon catches that you did not tell a truth, or an Amazon customer says that is not true, it is investigated and you could have your account taken down. So you want to be really
and I was being a little facetious there. When I say I lied, I technically I did buy 20 pairs. But I also bought another 20 pair. I didn't completely tell how many. I wouldn't. Now, what I would not do is say I bought 5 and I'd really never bought a single one. That's the sort of lie I think that people would be offended by. I don't think anyone would really be offended knowing, wow, TJ, I love these so much. He bought 40. Now I'm definitely not going to buy them.
Right.
It would require too much context. So absolutely.
Yeah, they use.
And Elaine, I apologize. I apologize if I planted the seed to anyone that they should lie in their ads. No.
Yeah, no. And I think it is an opportunity, especially if you do shop on Amazon, that you should just add it to your mix for that reason alone. If you are actually making, if you're making a living online, or adding it to your mix as a consultant or coach. And I think it's already blown up, and it's going to be even bigger this next year because of the various new things that Amazon is introducing. But just follow the rules, check over there, make sure you do that, and you should be a winner. And I think that TJ is going to be super successful.
Well, I have no idea, but I've given a lot of thought to all the different possible benefits that can happen from making a video. So even if it's not successful by the narrow metric of this one video generated X amount of sales that I'm happy with, there's so many other possible ways you can benefit, monetize it, but also benefit from it. I'm going to talk about that at the end of our segment today if we have time, but certainly we'll be talking about that in the new year. But Janice has been waiting very patiently, and I want to find out what she's been up to. Janice, if you could there we go.
Hi.
Karima will be with you next. Thank you so much. And I'm getting
I very much enjoyed being an ambassador, TJ, because what I try to do is live up to my commitments. So I thought, okay, TJ is going to be releasing a certain number of clips every day. So make sure that you start off with the TJ moment, and then I go through the rest of the day. I've got inspiration. I put a comment because I've learned. So I appreciate everything that you've got for us, TJ.
Oh, well, thank you. And those of you just joining us, Janice, I'm getting an echo again. Karima, we're going to have to turn your mic off. So if I'm getting it from anyone else, I'm going to turn your ears off a second, Barb. Okay. One of those. Now I'm still getting an echo. Barb, do you know? Let me turn yours back on. Because I'm getting I
think it's
1
Janet.
second delay echo.
Okay, now let's
test
see.
now.
Yeah, it was Janet's. Janice.
That's what. So Janice, I'm going to bring you on in a moment.
Let me just say the learning moment. Why? I bet she's running her sound through her system, and not with the earbuds and all that going that direction. Okay. So that's a difference.
When we bring you back on, I'll just be quiet, and then I won't. I think we'll be okay if there's just one of us speaking. Okay. And Elena says Janice may need to check her sound as well. Okay. Now, and I forgot where we were, so apologies. Janice, let's just go right to you. I'm going to hit mute on mine. I don't know if that really matters, but Janice, tell us. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to provide context what our ambassador program is for people who don't know. We have a program for people who want to continue really going in depth with their communication skills and like my courses, like to interact with me as much as possible. So we have a program whereby people who like and leave comments on all of my videos on this YouTube channel are a part of an inner circle, and they get access to a lot of courses and other updates, and without having to, they're paying with their time, not five or ten or $20,000 of cash. So there's no cash requirement. I'm going to put just a quick link to the ambassador program for anyone who's interested. But Janice is one of our stars because she's providing lots and lots of excellent expertise. She's a presentation skills coach in her own right and is a real expert, helps people around the world with their own communication skills. So I'm just going to post this link right here for anyone who's watching this either live or on demand, and they will see that. Okay, now, Janice, if you could take the floor and speak.
You
we're
must
not
have her
hearing you.
muted.
There we go. Now try.
I'm happy about the ambassador program because I learned so much every day from you, TJ, and especially by posting comments, it's given me a chance to actually consolidate what you said into concise tips that help me. So really much appreciate that. I've been taking your advice and trying to film a video every day, use my cell phone, and I think I'm improving step by step. The most important one was don't screw on your water bottle all the time. Drink from a cup. That makes life easier. Thank you for these tips.
Well, I'm glad you found it helpful. It's always interesting to see what sticks. That's not what I would have. I'm looking for the top to my bottle just so I can illustrate it. That's not one I would have picked out as a huge one, but it's a minor little irritant. I've seen countless speakers. They're up on stage, and every 5 minutes they pick up their bottle, which is fine. They're drinking water, which is fine. But every 5 minutes in front of 10,000 people, they're doing this, putting it down and drinking, and then picking up the top and screwing it back down and putting it. It's just a lot of extra work and energy and motion. And my point is simply just leave the top off so people can focus less on what you're doing and fiddling with, because I don't think there's that much of a danger of so many germs floating in the half hour you're giving a speech or presentation. So that's one reason why I leave my top over here and I just have the bottle if I want to drink. I do it without distraction. Janice, anything else you're getting out of the program? And then more important, what advice do you have for me on how to improve this channel? Because I've had some good news in the last few weeks and some bad news. But first I want to get your tips, and then I want to share with you the good news, bad news situation.
I'm very happy to hear about the ambassador program. I really would like to know more about that. I'm glad you're updating everything. Your backdrop, I like your backdrop, but I think by updating it to something that is maybe a little bit more current in whichever way, I think that's a very good initiative.
Well, that's definitely my biggest plans for January is I'm not going to throw this away. This is a piece of plastic. I'm going to build a whole nice big set, and I'm going to upgrade to probably at least 3 4K cameras. And I'm gonna have a desk that rises and goes up and down in an automated way, and so that sometimes I can sit down, but also I can have one that rises the camera and everything, so I can stand and move around and demonstrate. So absolutely, I'm going to be making dramatic improvements with the set, with the quality of the lighting, the quality of the backdrop, the quality of the audio. Although this is a pretty good mic, which maybe I should do an Amazon influencer ad for this. but I'm going to try to really up the game at every single level. I do appreciate that. Any other suggestions you have for me?
When I get a chance to think, I'll write an email. How about that?
Okay, thanks. I do want to show you some good news, bad news, and I would love to get your perspective on it. And I'm just going to take all of you in sort of the insides. I'm going to show you the sort of inside analytics of my YouTube channel and show you, again, some good news and some bad news, or at least confusing news, I would say. I'm going to pull up this page. And this is sort of the internal analytics of my page. So this is showing you the top performing content of the last 28 days. So this is the one I mentioned to you where I have an actual grammar mistake. It's not egregious, but it is a grammar mistake. Had almost 12,000 views. Pretty happy about that. Now here's the bad news part. I mean, the good news is I've got views of 11,000, 7,000. My worst performing video of a short of the top 10 still had almost 3,000 views. Now for the bad news. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think one other one with a different image. 7 of these videos are just old. Oh, I'm talking about 17-year-old videos of me giving a speech where we did have a good editor edit it down and turn it into a short. I'll just show you the most popular of that, and it's only 18 seconds long. And again, this gives you more data. And well, I thought I had the audio on. Okay. Okay. So that was just replayed it in a loop. So here's my dilemma. I'm trying to figure this out because I didn't think that video was any better than the vast majority of the new ones I do. There are some differences. Obviously, I'm in front of an audience. You can't see a huge audience, but I'm in front of several hundred people. I'm on a stage. I have more movement. And I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking at the audience. So those are all things I could do with new videos I create as I speak more in front of audiences. The things I can't recreate is that was a 45-year-old guy or 44-year-old guy. I'm not 44 anymore. That guy looked younger. Arguably, he looked better. He had better hair. He had darker hair. I can't do that unless I use AI trickery on every video I ever do, and I don't want to do that. So that's why I say it's good news and bad news. Is the vast majority of my most popular videos are all from old stuff, and it may be just the editing was superior. It was a different editor on that. So I would love to bring everyone back up, and if they have any opinions on that. Janice, let's start with you. And Karima, you've been very patient. We'll come to you as well, and then I want to address your concern. But Barb, I'm sure you must have some opinion on why people only seem to want to watch videos of me from 17 years ago. But Janice, you first.
I put in the chat box, oldies are goodies. Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, they have good material. The fact that Tony was like in his 90s, good material. Also, when you were in a lot of those videos, you were in a suit and tie and you were presenting in front of an audience. That, I think, increases your credibility.
Well, that's another thing that's different that I am interested in people's opinions on, because we live in an era where pretty much everyone is super casual and Gary Vaynerchuk is in a t-shirt, and it could seem almost too stuffy and old-fashioned to wear a suit and tie. But noticing this a couple of months ago is one reason why I started wearing at least a suit jacket. I haven't gone back to a tie yet, but maybe that's what people are more comfortable seeing someone who looks like me in. I mean, Brian Tracy is about 20 years older than I am, and he's typically always in a suit and tie in his videos. So maybe I'm at that stage in my life where people don't want to see me with anything from here down exposed, even here, and having a suit and tie keeps everything looking more professional, or what they expect. So I am going to be experimenting in the new year with videos with a suit and tie. But anything else, Janice? Okay, thanks. Karima, let's come to you, but I want to give Barb just a quick shot, and then Karima will get your analysis, and then I want to hear what you've been working on as well. Barb, if you're with us, I know you're behind scenes running some technical issues for us as well.
I would have to look at that actual video directly on YouTube. But what I see is, because you've been active on your channel, and because of people like Janice, the ambassador program and so forth, and the interaction, you've triggered the computer algorithms on YouTube that when the keywords in whatever videos that you do are included on there, it's going to send traffic over there. So if that topic was something that is a key issue right now, as well as back then, it's the topic that they're going for. And as to, that's where it, I haven't looked at looked at it personally, but I would look at it and I would say that they're noticing that now because there is more lively audience online. You're actually looking for the content. And so that gets back to how important our titles are, all of the, the details on your channel that you're adding in those keywords, you're adding all of the stuff, there are applications that help us analyze our videos on YouTube. And I use vidIQ on one and TubeBuddy on another, just to be able to see what's going on and helping folks. So I think it's that. I think it's that because you're showing up regularly, the system, because never forget, it's technology based. And that's the same thing going back with the Amazon thing. So, and that's because there's auto generation of the transcript on YouTube. If those bad keywords that Amazon is looking for is in there, it's going to trigger it computer wise. So, and bring attention to that. So always, like I put in our Facebook group today, is be sure that you're in a positive frame of mind and keep everything you do to the positive, because you want to have the best experience possible.
All good points, Barb. I guess where I'm still confused is, I agree with you completely on everything you said, but I mean, I'm using vidIQ on all of my videos, and I'm really even giving more thought to this short format for my new ones. This is just old content. In my mind, I'm talking about the same things I've always talked about: public speaking skills, communication skills. And I would have thought the newer ones would have been a lot better, because I've been even thinking more about lessons I learned from Video Ranking Academy and other places. And I've done probably 90 shorts that have posted, maybe 100 in the last 2 months, and only 7 like this. And yet, so it's 7% of the total shorts, but it's 70% of the most popular ones. So that's that's what just seems bizarrely out of whack to me. So I'm trying, and I'm hoping the issue is not simply that people only want me when I look like I'm 45.
I have a hunch it's all the keywords and what was playing out on the internet that day at that time. And I just have to see the video in order to really take a close look at it.
Continue to study that. Hey, Karima has been waiting very patiently. Wanted to bring her on. Karima, how are you today?
Use it.
Bring your...
Oh, you've unmuted me. Hi.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Before I give any feedback, can I make a request, please,
Sure.
for Barbara? I have a setup that I've got 2 cameras with 2 different things. Is there any way you can just allow me on with the other one as well, so that I can
Oh, sure.
compare? The other one is Karima
Yes.
too. I'm
Yes, it's on
comparing the.
now.
Yeah, thank you, because it's given me a chance to get different angles and different feedback and see how it looks. It looks
Mhm.
extremely strange there, actually, when I turn from one to the other. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. That's interesting. And I have the light on behind me, which you see in if you see in the one where my name is shown as Kareem in Ireland, they say put the a light behind you, but look at it's terrible. It's
Yeah,
showing.
I recommend that people only have lights in front of them. Now, there are people who have really, really professional sets and they have very specific lights that accent things. But in general, it's too bright if the camera latches onto it and it darkens your face. So until you get to a point of being really super fancy, I recommend just a light in front of you, nothing behind you. It's easier for people to see your face. I also recommend that there be just a tiny gap between the top of your head and the top of the screen,
Mm.
because what we're seeing now is your head is in the bottom 40%
Mm. Mm.
of the
Mm.
screen. So imagine if I had done everything for the last hour looking like this. I might have said the same thing. I think it would have had a different impact.
And it's a camera. Would that be camera angle or the way or the angle that I'm sitting?
It's both, but if for health reasons or other reasons you want to sit a particular way, you can adjust the camera. So my camera is about an inch above my eyes right now. So it just frames it in a way that's just more effective. And I see that we have someone named Home Studio has signed on saying hello. If your name is Home Studio, because you know a lot about home studios, we would love for you to join us in the studio to talk about tips, and perhaps you can give even better tips to Karima. If you're just joining us and you don't know how, there is a link at the very top of the chat of how you can join us in StreamYard. So Karima, I would give that a shot. Again, the main thing is you want your head almost touching the top of the screen. You want more light in front of you, not behind you.
Okay.
What
Do you
else
want
are
my
you working
feedback?
on right now? Yes, absolutely.
I said it before, and I say it again. When I'm doing your Udemy course, you have a white background behind you. It's far more effective than the wall, because I can focus just on you, not on not on the cracks in the wall or whatever.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know if it's just my laptop, but your eyes look nearly black and your teeth are kind of blindingly white. So maybe there's too much. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let me adjust one settings and do the take off the touch up my appearance. See if that makes any difference. And
Oh, well,
do you see
it was the
anything
filter.
different
Yeah,
there?
yeah. You look more human now.
Okay, yeah, maybe the filter is just
I don't
too
think you
much,
need the
but
filter. Because
okay,
you're not using it. You're not using it in the course that I'm studying. And
right,
I can't remember which one because I've bought a couple of your courses. So but
good,
the white I'm a customer. The white
great.
background and no filter is better. But then I could be completely wrong because my IT guy, I had a discussion with him a few days ago about redesigning the website, and he said I wanted that what I like is so old fashioned and so simple that people would think I can't afford a proper website. That I'm not professional enough that I will accept that something that's not good enough.
Uh,
So, and he had a completely different perspective than I had. I
yeah,
wanted
there's
ease of use and ease of access, ease of getting to what was clearly the links, decluttered.
uh-huh.
He didn't agree.
Yeah. Well, I very much appreciate your feedback. Let me address a couple of those things. Thanks for liking my white background. I did that for years because I found any other background I had would always get criticism for distraction. So I did use white background for a lot of my courses.
Hmm.
What I found is it is exceedingly difficult, at least with my technical expertise, to light a white background consistently, because you get one thing off, you don't get the white balance right, and all of a sudden it looks gray and dingy and dirty. Yeah, I've just found it's very, very difficult and a lot more time consuming to
Okay.
light, and any little change of light coming through the window and it messes it up. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do that anymore. Another reason is it's sort of went a little bit out of style. There was a
That's
time
what.
when I think it was Apple's commercials did it in white. It was clean and simple, and everyone was doing it. And then all of a sudden, no one was. So you looked dated if you were doing it. I am going to get rid of this. I mean, that's my top priority of the new year, is completely creating a new set, but it's not going to have a white backdrop. It's going to, I'm going to share I would love feedback from Barb and everyone. I'll show you a set that I really like that I'm thinking of modeling mine after. And I'm going to pull up again. I'm not going to put his audio on. He's a political guy, and we're keeping politics out of this channel. But I'll just show you what I think is a relatively simple set, but I think it's very nice looking. And some of you may know him. It's a guy named Dave Rubin, who has the Rubin Report. And again, we're not discussing. Well, that's one of his shorts. Let me pull up one of his longer ones. And here we go. Let me forward through this. Let me skip. Let me share the screen. Okay, so I have it muted. And let me see if I can get to a part where we only see him. And I would just love to get your opinions of what you think of his set. And I had this problem the other day. I was showing my wife to get her feedback. I'm not interested in her set. She just has what looks like an ordinary academic office with a backdrop. There we go. So it looks to be marble, and it might just be wallpaper. He does have light in the back, but I think they call them accent lights. His face is nicely lit.
Mm.
It's spaced nicely. So I would love to get opinions from all of you of what you think of a set like this, because it's not chroma key. It may be a little fuzzy here because we're sharing it and streaming it, but when you just watch it on a regular computer or TV, as I have, it comes across with great clarity. So he has some simple shelves, and I just think everything looks sort of high-end and expensive and professional. So that's what I'm looking at. But I would love, if anyone has any other recommendations, please share them to me in the comments section or the community tab on the YouTube channel, or right here. Okay, now let's pop back to Karima and find out more about what you're up to.
Oh, I can't remember. You just said something there about the style and how it was gone out of the thing was white was gone out of style. That's what my IT guy was saying to me. Like what I was talking about is it's out of style. But
Yeah.
this new background that you're thinking about that you just showed us, because I'm watching on two different devices. I'm watching on a Chromebook and I'm watching on a mobile phone, and it was lovely and clear. And you used the word. You used the word. I can't remember what it was, but it meant crisp and clarity. I think it was
Yes.
very. The background was very different, crisp, and the man was. It was clear that what was the background and what was the man. in
There was depth to it. Yes.
depth. That's the word. Yeah, there was depth on the phone, but on the Chromebook there wasn't. His jacket was moving into the background. So
Yeah.
it might be worth looking at different devices and just
Yeah,
to
things are
see.
going to look differently in different places. Barb, can you weigh in on that? I'm interested in what you thought of the backdrop of the one I just saw, because there was clearly depth, and my room, my main studio, is big enough that I can have a lot of depth. I mean, this is just really 8 inches behind me, but that was stupid of me to ever set it up this way. I can have it where I am 15 feet away from the walls and create a much bigger, more expensive, high production feel.
But the depth only showed on the mobile phone, which is new. It didn't show on the Chromebook, which is also new.
Interesting. Barb?
Well, Karima pointed out something very important. And when you do the testing, use multiple access devices to do that. It did not come across well for me. Now, I have a high-powered computer that I'm viewing this within the studio on this morning. And it wasn't actually straight. So, and then he had so much stuff back there, it was busy. At the same time,
That's the
it's
word,
very
busy.
you don't want whatever it is behind you to take away from you. And yes, the dimension can add a lot to it. I'll grab that. You want everybody to see this link?
Well, that's the one we just saw.
Okay, I'll check that then.
That's the Rubin report. Take a look at it
Okay, I
on
will
your
do.
computer when it's not being mediated through a live stream, because I've looked at it on a few computers. I've also looked at it on my 85-inch Samsung TV,
Right.
and it's filled up the giant screen, and it looked fantastic.
Actually, the phone I was looking at it on is a Samsung.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that means something.
No.
Okay.
No.
I have a Samsung. I'm sitting here with an iPhone and a Samsung running simultaneously, and they all look different. And my feeling is that let's not focus on that part, because what really is what behind him detracting from the speaker, from the star, if you will, of the show. And it was. And it can be done very well and adds dimension to the video by doing that. But just be cognizant of everything you put behind you. Does it relate to what you're doing? Will your audience be distracted by it over what you're doing, or can you blend it in? But I would, more dimension is better. I've never have liked the bricks. I know you never liked my black and all these things, but the bottom line is that when it gets to be too common, and you're seeing it in multiple channels you subscribe to, again, it leaves something in the back of your mind. And when I see the background, I think instructor, an online instructor. And I also think Zoom. So that's just what first comes to my mind, because that was where that was introduced.
Yeah, that could be good though if he's doing it for his courses, not for.
Well, I'm looking for something that's going to be versatile, because one of my plans for the new year is to be more transparent with you, and to be actually, when I'm making courses, doing them live on YouTube as I do it, and letting you see my mistakes, letting you see when I redo it.
That's
actually
smart.
Recording my YouTube videos and my shorts while I'm here with you, and you can see where I think, oh, that's no good, let me do another take. Or when you can see me do one and think, that's not perfect, but good enough. So that's part of my view. Gary Vaynerchuk has this whole theory that you should really document your journey, and people will learn from that and benefit from that.
Absolutely.
So back to Dave Rubin. Here's one thing I have found about backdrops. With all the different backdrops I've used over the years, there is basically no backdrop you can ever get that isn't going to get a lot of criticism. And if you don't like this backdrop, Barb, you're perfectly correct. It doesn't work for you. But this guy's getting 31 million views a month. He's doing something right. He has 2 million views. And what I have found, and across the spectrum, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, for people who aren't like a Mr. Beast and out doing things in the real world, for the people who have very sort of big time shows where they're in a studio and they have millions of views and millions of subscribers and tens of millions of views a month, they have some kind of a studio look that has some depth to it. And it's more like his. And a lot of them have all sorts of little knickknacks in the backdrop, which you could focus on at any one time, but it does not seem to be, it seems to be helping them, is my observation. But we'll come back to that. We have, Moss has been very patiently waiting. Let's bring Moss on. Appreciate you joining us today. And Moss, I want to hear exactly what's on your mind, but I do want to toss out this question to you. What do you think of it may be a dumb idea for many reasons, but what do you think of my idea of you starting to do product reviews for the Amazon influencer to do a couple of things, building expertise, potentially making money, potentially building relationships with tech companies. I mean, if you're doing a review on a Dell laptop and it's a really good review and you are mentioning in Twitter or Facebook and copying what you've done and sharing it with the people who run Dell social media, it's a lot more likely you're going to get on their radar. So those are just a few ideas that popped into my head. But
there is a product. There is a product that they keep asking me to answer questions on because I bought the product and I like it. It's called HD Home Run, where you have either your roof antenna or an indoor antenna going into the box, and your Ethernet goes out to the router so that every device in the house can then watch TV online through this device with just one antenna, and you can record with it for a subscription fee, a small fee per year. You can make recordings. So back in New York, I was recording a station out of New Jersey that had Andy Griffin and those other things every day, and I could, then watch them later. So it worked pretty well. It isn't perfect, but I've gotten a lot of questions about the product. So from Amazon had me answer them, and I did that, but I'm not getting any commission on that. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm assuming you have not applied to be in their influencer program. The other thing is you don't have to be in their influencer program to just sign up as an Amazon affiliate, and you can post it on YouTube or any place, and if someone clicks it, you can get paid. Have you done that?
Right. Yeah, that would be a good video for my.
I mean, if you've got time on your hands, and you can only send out resumes so many hours a day.
Oh yeah.
If it's a way of sort of keeping you up to date, demonstrating expertise, possibly building bridges with companies you like, admire, and respect, and potentially making money, what's the downside?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Okay, Moss, tell us what is on your mind, what you've been up to in the last week. How's the job hunt going?
That's going pretty well. I had the interview with the Texas Department of Transportation, and there was just one person interviewing me, not others that were supposed to, but I just had the one person. So it was all technical questions, and there was one question I couldn't think of the answer to during the interview. And then afterwards, I realized it was a pretty easy question. So it was kind of embarrassing. But I guess that can happen. That your mind goes blank. And I hadn't been involved with this in about 6 months anyway. It's the issue where a machine falls out of trust. And what that is if it's not used for a certain amount of time, typically 90 days, it won't work on the domain anymore. It would have to be either re-imaged or put back on the domain. So I forgot all about that. But anyway, I guess that can happen in an interview. So I wasn't sure in the thank you note to include the answer, but I didn't. You know,
Well, also keep in mind what seems like a horrible blunder in your mind, the other person might not even noticed, or they might have noticed and forgotten it 2 seconds later.
right.
Because ideally you did enough other things that were interesting and memorable in a positive way in that interview that if you did not know a one particular answer, they don't remember that. So no one's perfect.
Right.
So I just mentioned my most successful video of the year. I have a grammar mistake. I don't typically make egregious grammar mistakes, but I did in that one. Nobody cared except one person who was nice enough to point it out.
Right.
So chances are she didn't remember. I'm more interested in, did you hit the check boxes of telling the stories you wanted to, where you really gave them a sense of what your unique skills are, your talents, and why you would be a great fit for the company. That's our first objective, not simply avoiding mistakes.
Right.
I see people all the time go through interviews and they avoided every mistake, but no one remembered anything they said 5 minutes later. So Moss, what else are you doing? Oh, Elena wants to know, is somebody's dog whining? I am hearing a little panting.
Yeah, it's my dog. Usually
Okay.
he sleeps now, you know, but this morning I don't know what's bothering him. My wife isn't here yet to take care of him. So.
Okay. And well, we wish you luck. Are you following any of our suggestions about go out and actually meet people and talk to people and join organizations and associations and get out of the home?
Yeah,
Have you
I
been
am.
meeting more people?
Yeah, and then next week when my friend comes back from China, we're going to go out together, and he's going to introduce me to some people because he knows a lot of people here. So it's
Okay.
been that way.
Well, great. You got to meet more people and get out there more and put your
Right.
ideas out. Try the idea of making videos. I mean, even if the Amazon influencer program doesn't accept you, there's nothing stopping you right now from just creating videos where you review technology products and just posting them on YouTube and putting it in an Amazon affiliate link. I just don't know anything bad that can happen to you, and there's plenty of good things that could happen. All right, Moss, good luck. Thanks so much for joining us. Wanted to go through a few more comments that people had posted. And this, to me, is a perfect example of the problem with any backdrop. No one's wrong, but Home Studio wrote, I thought the background with the lights was beautiful and had kind of a comfy look to it. Elena writes, Ruben's background is not horrible. It just looks too busy. And for a political channel, I don't think his background is very serious. So again, two very sort of opposite opinions. That is the challenge with any set for any TV show, any YouTube channel, is if you go into it thinking, I got to make everyone happy and make sure I get no criticism, you'll never get there because there's something that bothers absolutely everyone. I want to spend a few minutes going into a couple more details on the Amazon Influencer program. But before I do, any other quick comments or questions or points of order anyone wants to bring up? And let's start with Janice. Janice, if you want to unmute, did you have anything else you wanted to add today? By the way, Janice, with your own YouTube channel, any social media, we're happy to promote that. You know, I've been talking about my stuff today. I don't want to be a selfish me guy all the time. Let's promote other people's stuff in this community. So Janice, do you have any new social media posts, any videos you're doing, any new courses that you would like to put a spotlight on?
Well, I just tried to sign up for the Amazon influencer and they rejected me. I guess I need to get more people are interested. So I just put that in the private chat. I'm at Advice That Works. So I filmed some videos for my students. And now that I've learned about the Amazon influencer program, I will probably do some shorts reviewing some of the products that I have purchased lately. So, for example, this ergonomic mouse, this ergonomic keyboard. So, thank you very much for bringing this to my notes. TJ, your backdrop, I think a combination between, so a middle ground between the white Amazon and the very busy bricks will be very effective. I look forward to what you have.
Okay. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And happy holidays to everyone. We are pretty much closing down, and I don't know if I'll be coming live for the next couple of weeks. And forgive me, I realized I missed a whole bunch of comments from people. Because we've got the public comments, but we also have the private chat. And I see our good friend and colleague and co-instructor Clarion North has joined us today. Clarion, great to see you. Happy holidays. And Clarion points out you can't please everyone, and great points. You got to achieve something special. You're going to annoy someone, and I'm sure with whatever I do with my set, some people aren't going to like it. I'm definitely steering towards the model where I've got some shelves, some books, some plants, some special lighting that gives a sense that it's in a big studio and some real depth. I'm leaning that way. I also want to say a special hello to one of our ambassadors, Henry Luyo Amba, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And forgive me if I'm not getting your last name correct. But Henry's been one of our great ambassadors on the channel. I want to say a special hello and thank you, Henry. And Henry, hoping you can join with us live in StreamYard for our next one. Henry says, I love the colors in the background. The stuff in the background, simple and not distracting. So Henry likes that one as well. And Janice is saying, thanks for the information on the influencer program. Now, Janice, I have looked at a number of people on YouTube who hold themselves out as experts on the Amazon influencer program. By my rough estimate, most of them say they were rejected the first time for some major or minor infraction. Did you get to the point where it was the first threshold where they just asked you to show your social media and they said no? Or did you get into that part and then uploaded videos and they rejected a video?
They just wanted to connect with and I think once they saw I only had 25 subscribers, that was no, not yet.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to subscribe to me,
I just did.
Oh, there we go. Great.
I just did.
Janice, can you post? Or you did post it? I see it right here. Okay.
Post it on the private chat. Yes. If anyone wants to put it in the public, feel free. Thank you.
All right. So let's just showcase. Let's help each other out here.
Yeah.
Let's make this a learning moment, because we are all in this together. And especially with something like Amazon, it's every product ever made. Therefore, we're really not in competition with each other. You could make the case that, if someone says, oh, TJ, I've got a new public speaking course on Udemy, that's kind of a small little world in competition. But Amazon is the entire universe of products. So helping someone else in no way harms anyone else. So I'm subscribed, but let's help her even more, because my understanding is, I won't say Amazon, let's just say anyone who is looking to see how active someone is in social media, they look to see if their comments and engagement and likes. So I'm going to like this video and I'm going to leave a comment. Whoops, preferably not with misspellings. And I would ask, if you feel like it, check out Janice's channel and leave a comment. Don't just subscribe, but leave a comment, like her video, and do all of those things. But Janice, you can help also by posting a question on your channel. Excuse me, not on your channel, on your every video you do. You may have noticed with mine, I'm typically doing 3 comments. I'm asking a question. I'm doing a little summary. I am linking to something I'm promoting. I'm liking my own ones. I don't know if that really helps, but I mean, I did get approved right away in that program. And sometimes no one wants to be the first. If they see there's already a couple of comments, maybe you'll get a few more. And don't be afraid to ask friends, family, others, and people like us to link to it. You know, I've kept everyone sort of past time, and Barb has a lot of festivities and holiday preparations to make. I can't keep her any longer, but I want to thank everyone for not only spending today with me, but spending this year. It's been great spending so much time. It's been a fantastic year in so many areas for me and others. And I hope next year is even better. We are going to take the next 2 live sessions off, but I'll tell you right now what I'm thinking of. And Barb, you may think I'm crazy. Others, I'm actually thinking of going live every single day next year, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Going live, and rather than me just making a video here talking to myself or doing a promotional video or a YouTube short, I'll just do it in front of you. And if I screw up, I'll tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it again. And if I make a new course, I'll do it live. No one has to watch, but I want to be more transparent, let you see what happens, because I do think, you know, one of the great tragedies in life and what I deal with is there's so many people with fantastic ideas, great expertise. They just can't quite get over that hump of hitting record and posting it. And maybe they record, but they don't post it. But the bigger challenge is they never hit record. So I'm hoping you can see, if you see more of what I do, warts and all, unvarnished, it will help motivate you to do it, because I have no natural talent for any of this. It's simply easier for me because I've been doing it for decades. It's very hard to be nervous or uncomfortable or fumbling about if you've been doing something for decades. And that's really all there is to it. Thanks so much, Barb, Karima, Moss, Janice, Henry, and everyone. Really great to be with you this year. Thanks so much. Please, even though we're not going to be coming live, I'm going to be posting videos 3 times a day, every day. Christmas, New Year's, every other holiday. So please continue coming to the channel and having a conversation with it, because I will be monitoring it every day. I will be answering questions and responding to comments every day. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.